November will be a much calmer month now that we've moved past the eclipses, which will be unfolding for you over the next 6 months. You'll start to see a lot of your choices that you weren't able to see before now that the storms have settled. Things are going to start to resolve. You'll see some progress. You'll be able to really find more harmony this month, especially the second half of the month. Things will start to settle down. I'm going to share the most important things that you need to know about this month and how to navigate this energy so that you can really use it in the best way possible and you know what to watch out for. Hi, I'm Prema and welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad that you are here. The big focus in Vedic astrology is really on Scorpio and Libra this month. And we start the month though with on November 2nd with Venus moving into Virgo. Now, Venus has been moving back and forth between Cancer and Leo all summer into the fall. And now we have the great connector, the artist, moving into Virgo at the very beginning of November, November 2nd. We're going to start to see a lot of resolutions in our relationships. And even though this isn't the strongest placement for Venus, it is going to be really wonderful in a lot of ways because it's going to allow that what we've been going through in relationships, we'll have clarity, we'll be able to make some choices to be able to move forward, and we'll be able to discern what is the best thing to do. Our communication in general, the way we connect in, is just going to be easier. It's going to be friendlier. It'll just feel easier to connect. There's just going to be more harmony and also creativity. Venus can be a little fickle in this placement, meaning that, our Venus is all about, it's definitely the artist. It's about beauty, but it is about connecting in with one another. And sometimes in Virgo, we can get a little picky about and not see the best in someone and looking sometimes at what we don't like. Be careful of that. Instead, take a breath of fresh air in relationships and really appreciate one another and then make those clear choices about the relationships that maybe are time to move on from, or you need to set boundaries in, and just do it from a heart-centered place and you'll be fine. Lean into your creativity this month. Beautify your home, be in nature. These are the things that really settle Venus down. Venus wants beauty. How can you bring more beauty into your life? This is the natural 6th house of the zodiac. So this is into our health, into our well-being, but Venus rules a certain placement for you, depending on your chart. So this is Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac. I am speaking in this update based on the general themes, but you can look at it based on your ascendant, which house this would actually be. On November 4th, we have a wonderful thing that's going to move things forward, and that is Saturn is going to go direct. It's going direct in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Saturn has been retrograde for almost 5 months now, and Saturn is our great organizer. It's the administrator as well in the Sacred Wealth Code system. We've been reevaluating a lot of our choices that have to do with Aquarius, social structure, our higher ideals about things. It has to do with Saturn is our structure and organization. It's our work in a lot of ways. It's the rules about things, boundaries. And now that it's moving forward, or going to move forward, we're going to be able to start to take action on some of the things we've been reevaluating and put new structures in place. We will start to feel things move. We'll see less delay. Saturn, nigh if you're on purpose, but it does delay things. It likes to remind us that we are living in an ephemeral world and we need to be inner referenced, living from the inside out. That's what I'm all about. That's what my channel's about. That's what my business is about, and everything that I teach or guide you with. Saturn is very much all about that. Wants us to remember who we truly are. So it trips us up in the physical world or makes it things go slower so that we will recalibrate and remember who we are and not to move too quickly. So it has been delaying a lot of things and things are going to speed up. And that's a great thing. So where you've been feeling restriction, hopefully you'll start to feel those things move for you now, and that'll be really wonderful. It is the natural 11th house of the zodiac, which does have to do with groups and organizations, larger financial gains. It does rule a specific house for you. We're going to see some of our social structures that have been really challenged and deconstructing, that new systems can now get put into place. And that's on a collective level for all of us. And that's a beautiful thing. On November 6th, Mercury is going to move to Scorpio. Mercury's been in Libra with the eclipse pattern in Vedic astrology. Scorpio is the natural 8th house of transformation, deep transformation. It is a wise placement. And Mercury is our great communicator and our great merchant. Now, the beautiful thing here is that getting Mercury away from the eclipse pattern is going to just allow our discernment to be more clear. This placement will support really deep thinking. 8th house, great for research, getting behind the scenes and investigating things. You could go down some rabbit holes, so be careful of overthinking anything. But being a fixed sign, Scorpio is very deeply emotional. Devotion is the energy underneath that, so you don't want to get caught in the emotions of things and get stuck in emotions. Then you know that you're stuck in a story in some way and you need to dive deeper. What are you really devoted to? So be careful also with Mercury in this placement of getting stuck in our story. And is our story even the truth? So be careful of the stories you're telling yourself and really challenge yourself if you feel stuck in those stories, or that you're making up a story, or you perceive that things are against you in some way. Take a step back, and what's a truer story? Do some journaling. Really bring yourself to the table as far as that goes, on sort of untying the knots of your emotions so you can get to the truth about things. Mars will be meeting up with Mercury here, and that'll heat up communication a little bit. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But do take time to journal and to get your story straight before you have really important conversations, if you don't feel very clear about it. If you have a research project, if you need to really, dive into something, great time to actually do that. But lean into the deeper wisdom. Take the time to tune in, not just go on the information outside of yourself. Really tune in and challenge what you're reading about, what you're perceiving, what you're researching, against what feels right to you, because you do know. On November 11th, Mars and the Sun are going to be in opposition to Uranus at 26 degrees. Uranus is of Aries, and Mars and the Sun will be in Libra. And this, Uranus is a breakthrough kind of an energy, and it brings on things very unexpectedly. Mars and the Sun are both hot planets. This could bring an amazing breakthrough for you, but at the same time, just dial it back a little bit, because things could be a little unexpected, hot and explosive just right around November 11th. On the 12th, we have a new moon, and this is an incredibly powerful new moon. I will bring you a full new moon update close to the new moon, so watch out for that. It'll be at 26 degrees of Libra in Vedic astrology in the nakshatra of Vishaka. And this new moon is the very beginning of Diwali as well. This is the festival, the celebration of, the light within in the very dark time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. This is a very incredible new moon for a new beginning after all the turbulence of the eclipses. You can start to see things clearer. You're going to want to start to really take notice of what is the new beginning that you want to intend for yourself. Jupiter is going to aspect this new moon and bring some grace to it as well. So it's a major new beginning. Again, I'll bring you an update about this, but after all the tumultuous energy that we have been through, this will be a breath of fresh air. And Vishaka really supports a change in our path. So whatever change is up for us, we have sort of a double doorway for a new beginning. On November 16th, Mars moves into Scorpio. It's its own sign. Again, Mars being our honorable warrior, our strategist, and it's an engineer as well, but these two archetypes really depict Mars in its ownership of Scorpio. It's a very wise placement. It's a fixed sign, as I talked about, a very transformational part of the zodiac. You have the ability to go deep here. Because it's fixed, it's water in the form of ice. Fixed water. It's good for stability, but it can get, we can get stuck in the emotions here. So we just want to be careful about that. But it really gives us an opportunity to redirect our action, our productivity, and the way that we do things. And Mars has been tied up with the eclipse pattern for the last few weeks. And this is going to feel like we're freer to move forward. Mars is still combust the sun, and it will be through the beginning of the year. So you will need to watch out for burnout. So pace yourself in what you decide to get productive about. Tune in and really ask yourself the soul questions of, what am I really called to move forward at this time? Not what you think you need to move forward, but what are you called to move forward? We must be spiritually disciplined, and Mars is an incredibly spiritually disciplined energy when it is focused on the honorable intention of the honorable warrior. Otherwise, it's pissed off. So it's either like passionate or pissy, disciplined or more into that martial fighting kind of energy. So make sure that you're very on purpose with your spiritual practice, that you exercise, that you sweat, whatever your form of exercise may be, whether it's yoga, martial arts, or cardio, or whatever it might be. That takes the edge off of Mars and takes the edge off of frustration. We must know what we're devoted to in Scorpio, as I mentioned before. So get very clear about what you're devoted to at this point in time. And what are you devoted to be productive about? What are you devoted to communicate about? What are you devoted to sort of research? All the things with Mercury. This is transformation from the root of things, transformation from the inside out. Sort of want to get to the root of things. But when you get to the root, and then it's time to do the transformation, not get stuck down in that deep emotional energy. So burning that extra energy off Mars is going to be helpful for that. With Mars traveling close to the sun, really avoid frustrations that you can, and be careful not to burn out. Watch your energy. November 16th, the sun moves to Scorpio. Out of debilitation, our leadership energy is going to feel like it's come back. We're going to feel more empowered. We're going to feel more in charge. We will see leadership in the world hopefully take a notch up and get more on track. With Mars and the sun together, this is a lot of, sort of fiery energy here in this placement of Scorpio. Put your focus on transformation. What's up for you to transform? And what transformation are you leading for yourself? And if you're a thought leader, if you have a business, or what transformation are you leading for those who you are here to lead? On November 24th, Saturn will be direct, but it's going to move to Shatabisha, Nakshatra. This is a very deeply healing, very energetic healing nakshatra. It has another ability to transform things. And so this will be a very wonderful time. Saturn's very strong here. This is, again, just a lot of deep transformation, again, around like our social purpose in the world, and a lot of healing is available. On November 26th, Mercury will have blasted through Scorpio and is now going to move into Sagittarius. Mercury is moving very quickly. It is the winged messenger. Now, Mercury, again, our great communicator and our great merchant, is very inspiring in Sagittarius, very fired up about, thoughts and ideas and wanting to share those. So that will be a breath of fresh air. Just make sure you're tuning in and sharing what is yours to share and sharing from your heart. On November 27th, we'll have a full moon. Again, I'll bring you a full moon update. We'll have a healing circle, and the link below is to the healing circle. We'll have a healing circle, and this full moon will be at 10 degrees of Taurus in Vedic astrology. This is Venus's sign. Mars will aspect this. It'll fire it up a little bit, but in fact, the healing circle and this full moon will be so much about our love and wealth and security. And in the healing circle, we'll be working on all of the healing around that love and money and security. So I'll bring you a full update. Very powerful full moon. The moon is exalted here. It's in Rohini Nakshatra, which is one of the best nakshatras for manifesting, really drawing things to you. And, it's practical and earthy. And again, it's a fixed sign, Taurus is, and we want to create stability and security here. So powerful full moon coming up this month. On November 29th, Venus will move to Libra. Venus owns Libra. This is going to be the best placement Venus has been in quite some time. This is strong for harmony and connection in our relationships, and Jupiter will aspect this, so the two benefics will be aspecting one another, and this is going to bring a lot of grace to our connections, especially after the eclipses, and we've been, dealing with some of our energy around relationships and how we relate and how we want to compromise and how we don't want to compromise, and we're starting to make new decisions about relationships. Well, now we can connect in at a whole different level with more of an equal energy exchange, and this will help us to be able to do that. The nodes of the moon, just on the very next day, I follow the true placement of the planets inside your Vedic astrology. So on November 30th, the nodes of the moon are going to move from Libra and Aries. They've been hanging out like it's 0 degrees for a while, and they're going to shift fully into Virgo and Pisces. So Venus will spend its time free of the nodes of the moon here, and it's again going to, for the holidays and everything, it'll just be really, really wonderful to have this more clean, clear, connective energy. Now, just some reminders for you that you're going to watch out for burnout this month. You be very spiritually disciplined. Don't get stuck in your emotions. Process them. Do what you need to do, the clearing work you need to do. Talk to somebody trusted. Process your emotions so you can get down to what you're devoted to. Don't get stuck in your story. Rewrite your story. I teach my clients how to do that. Rewrite your story. It's very important if the story you're living isn't working for you. Resolution in relationships and new beginnings this month. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't taken my free Sacred Wealth Code quiz, you can find out what one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes is and some great training around that. The chart calculator is down below as well. All the links are down below in the description. The chart calculator with a free guide to what the different houses are in Vedic astrology, so you can know which house is yours when I'm talking about these transits. Link is down below about that. The healing circle, all my readings. Love to give you a reading. So all the links to everything are down below in the description. I so appreciate you being here. Please comment, tell me what's going on for you. Also share with me more of what you want to hear more about. I so appreciate you being part of the community, and I appreciate you subscribing. All right, so much love to you.